YouTube family. What's good with you? It's your boy 2A in LA, and as always, fam, anything I say in this episode, prior episodes, and future episodes, it's just my personal opinion. Don't take it as fact. Don't take it as law. Always do your own homework and come up with your own conclusions. Right about now, fam, I should go ahead and tap that like button for your boy. If you're new to the channel, I want to say welcome. Come on in. You can join the congregation by smashing that subscribe button and requesting all post notifications. And if you are an existing supporter of this channel, fam, I appreciate you more than you can possibly imagine. You are the reason this channel is anything. All right, look, fam, let's get this episode rolling. So this is going to be a short video, fam, and this kind of arises out of a discussion I had with some good friends of mine on a live feed a few days back. One of the questions that kind of arose from the chat was, I got $2,000 and I want to get into the 2011 space. What should I do? And my pat answer for this usually is one of two options. The first option is, what kind of person are you? Are you the kind of person who enjoys a project? Do you want to buy a gun and then build it up to its full potential? Or are you the kind of person who really just wants the best gun out of the box and I don't want to deal with any of that other stuff? So if you are the latter, I generally say save a little bit more money, try to get up to about $2,500 or so. And then there are several staccato options that are there. Jacob Gray is in that range. Some Bull Armory is in that range. Cosane Arms is in that range. And those are things to consider. If you are the kind of person who doesn't mind a project and doesn't mind taking a gun that's maybe a little bit more basic and building it up, then I typically say look out for Springfield Armory. Plan on upgrading, sending it out, upgrading the internals, upgrading the trigger, upgrading the grip module, upgrading the guide rod, and maybe even getting it ported, and that's probably going to run you somewhere between $1,000 and $1,500, at which time you would have spent right around $2,500, but you'd have a phenomenal gun that feels more like a $3,500 gun than it does a $2,500 gun. So those are my pat answers, and I got all the smoke. I got all the smoke. Oh, 2A, you're discouraging people, and there are lower end 2011s out there that people can buy. And okay, so that led me to this question, like, why are you buying a 2011? You say you want to get into the 2011 space. Okay, what is your motivation for being in the 2011 space? Do you want a 2011 just so you can say I've got a 2011 in my collection? If so, there are a lot of and growing inexpensive options out there. You've got the EAA Gerson Witness 2311. You got the Rock Island Armory TAC Ultra. You got the Thesis T9R, and you have the Live Free Apollo 11. So all those guns are at or around $1,000. Some a little less, some a little bit more. So if you're just looking for a gun that has the components of a 2011, so you can say I've got a 2011 in my collection, I can kind of check a box, I would look at those guns. And there are plenty of reviews out there for you to take a look at relative to which one of those guns may best suit your needs. But if you are buying a 2011 because you have heard that the 2011 is a cheat code, because you've heard that 2011 slides rack so soft that the trigger brake feels like glass breaking, that they feel so well balanced in the hand, etc., etc., then I think you could be disappointed in some of the lower end offerings. You should check them all out and, make your own decisions. Like I say at the beginning of every video, this is just my opinion. But one of the things that makes 2011s, historically 2011s, is that they are not mass produced. That they are made from higher grade materials. That they are often custom fit. And because of that, only a certain amount of guns are produced every month, even from large manufacturers like Staccato. And because of that, the quality controls tend to be a lot better. And so when you take a gun like the Springfield Armory Prodigy, and you take away the machine parts, and you put in a lot of MEM parts, and you mass produce it, anything you mass produce, you are more than likely going to have some issues. And my concern with a lot of these guns is that these manufacturers are new to the platform, and in all likelihood they're going to have growing pains, and they are trying to take what has historically been very expensive guns and mass producing them with lower quality parts so that they can lower the price for the consumer, which is admirable. But if you're diluting the product so much that it no longer is the product that it was intended to be, then I'm not sure what the point is. And I'm not saying that these guns are like that. I'm just saying we don't know. We don't know. It's early on in their development. If it's me, to me, 2011s really kind of start at that kind of base, I'd say. Like that $1,500 price range and up. And even at $1,500, like I said, there's a lot. The Springfield Prodigy is a fine gun, but there's a lot to be desired in that gun for it to feel like what I think most people have in mind when they think about a 2011. And so, look, I'm not here to discourage anybody. I encourage everyone. Don't forget, this channel was built. I started off redoing Glocks and M&Ps and and HKs and FNs and Walthers and stuff like that. That's what this channel was built on. I'd say only in the last kind of year and a half, really, I've really started having greater focus, because I felt like I accomplished those challenges, and I started looking for other challenges, and I started looking at more higher end firearms. But we all start where we start at, right? And so if you guys are asking me, as somebody who has a lot of experience relative to 2011s and 2011 space, what my opinion is, I'm going to tell you that if you're looking to spend, kind of $2,000 or less, then my recommendation would be to consider a Bull Armory. If you're the kind of person who just wants the best gun you can get out of the box, then I would consider a Bull Armory. I would consider an Oracle Arms 2311. I would maybe save a little bit money and consider getting a Staccato or a Jacob Gray or something in there. If you don't mind a project, then I would say get a Prodigy and build that Prodigy into something special. And you don't have to do everything today. You can take your time about doing that and build your Prodigy up over time if you don't have the additional money to do other things to it. If you just want to have a 2011, to say you got a 2011 in the collection and kind of check that off the box, then consider some of those entry-level guns that I talked about. Just make sure you do your due diligence. The last thing I would want, $1,000 is still a lot of money. the last thing I would want is you to go out, spend $1,000 on a 2011 with the anticipation that it's going to be the best thing since sliced bread, and it doesn't feel better than some of your lesser expensive guns, right? Because at the end of the day, I don't know. For me, I'm trying to buy the best gun I can buy for the price. So if I'm looking for a full size 9mm or a compact 9mm or a subcompact 9mm, I'm trying to find the best gun for that price range in that category. And so how does some of these $800, $900, $1,000 guns stack up against non-2011 9mm? If it's not better, then I don't know why someone would buy it, other than, again, they're just trying to check a box. So that's kind of my thought process on this, fam. I don't, you shouldn't care what I think. You shouldn't care what I think. You should buy whatever you want to buy, and I'm not going to think any better of you or less of you or whatever, no matter what your gun choices are. I'm supportive. I just want people being engaged and involved in 2A and protecting themselves and having reliable firearms. That's all I care about. Doesn't matter if that's a $300 gun or a $300,000 gun. So that's kind of my thought process on it, fam. You let me know what you think down in the comments, all right? That's it for this episode, fam. Until next time, as always, take care of one another and peace.